Hello teacher, today I will discuss about my project. First, I create a cast not number exception to detect the error of thing and return a message, but I'm not sure that it should to have cast exception or not, but I think it can protect the error. Okay, and we have to create the three classes. There are cast person, cast card, and cast student. For the cast card, I use protected because anything inside can access it, and then I declare the variable first name and last name of thing. And for the public, it can define the thing that you want. So I create the constructor person and also create parameter constructor. Okay, and then I set I set first name, set last name, and get first name to return first name, and get last name to return last name. Okay. For the cast card, I declare the int cost ID, string cost name, and double cost credit, and create the constructor in the public, and set ID, get ID to return ID, and set CNAME and get CNAME to return CNAME, and set credit and get credit to return credit. And for the card student is the subclass is card person. It is used to store all student information. So I declare the in student ID is number of course, bool paid tuition. I use the bool because it it can get it can know that true or false. And vector cost and low and vector checklist, and create the constructor and set student ID and get student ID to return student ID, and set number row and get number row to return number courses, and set pay tuition and get pay tuition to return pay tuition. Okay, and then we have the function to calculate GPA and calculate tuition fee. For the double calculate GPA, I set the GPA and some credit initialized to 0 and use the for loop if L to calculate GPA and return GPA over some credit. And calculate tuition fee, I set the total credit initialized to 0 and use the for loop and return total credit time 500. Okay, and this and these are the enroll that within the student ID cost credit and cost name. Okay, and then these are the function declaration that use the vector in here. Okay, let's go to first the int main. For the int main, I declare the is subject variable into the cost and put the data inside the cost set. And this is the ID, this is the cost name, and this are credit, and these are the seller. This line. I realize all the data into the vector of cost and create the cost dot put back as a data inside. And then this slide is the our student class data. Yeah, this is the first name, last name, student ID, number of course enrolled, paid tuition, and the subject and the grade. And this course mean the this visualize the all data into the weather of student and create the student dot pushback as a data inside that it's the same here. Okay. For the enjoy, we see out the discourse student, the student and enrollment, grade reports and exit and see out the your choice. And sin choice, it means if user put something that is not a number, we will show not number exception. And I could, and then I use the catch box not number exception and make the short P99 because it can the same message and then CL the enter 0 to 4 only. Okay, next. For process Discord, I create the process Discord to see our course ID, course name, and course credit, and use for loop to pin Discord. And then you pin Discord to get ID, name, and credit. For the process list student, we get the vector student in the class and pin out the student ID and student name and use for loop again and then pin list student. For the process list student, which card we get the vector student, in class and use for loop again. Okay. For the pin list student, which card I declare the valuable student and we get student ID, first name and last name, and then see out course ID, course name, course edit. For the pin list enroll, we see out the GPA and tuition fee, and process guest report to get the vector student and do the for loop. Okay. For the last one, it's a pin get report. It's the process that's in the same as the student which code and use if else function. If after else it mean if pay tuition is for it will mean you need to pay the tuition fee up. Okay, let's launch the program. Input 1, 2, 3, 4, and 0. Yeah. Okay, teacher, thank you for listening.